Soulless.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Welcome to Trail Talk. So glad to be back with you guys after a
Little vacay.
little
Holiday.
vacay. We were kind of
Holiday
off,
break.
and then we were on, and now
We're on again, we're off again, we're on again.
it's that time of year, guys. It's just that time of year. In fact, next week we're only having one Trail Talk.
That's
But this week, today, we're going to talk about something that this topic evolved from my inability to check everything off of my bucket list that I had marked for this year. And bird watching was one of the things that I thought I would really like to go do. Haven't had a chance to go do that. However, I decided to look up bird watching opportunities in Oklahoma because I thought, I know that people like go out to Clear Creek and
Right,
look
there's
at
plenty of
eagles.
opportunities and areas.
Yeah, we've talked about all the birds that are, kind of different
Migratory,
locations
yeah.
that are known for these
Mhm.
different birds and things. And something popped up I had never heard of, the Christmas bird count.
We're CBC.
CBC, aka CBC.
Herein will be known as the CBC.
Yeah. Henceforth shall be referred to as. Anyway, we digress.
Right.
So the Christmas bird count, that kind of got my attention, especially because Christmas is just around the corner.
Oh, I know.
And I thought,
Literally.
holy cow, what is this thing? Is this
Mhm.
something that I can do? I mean, what is this? So I did a little deep dive, shocked. I know you're all
I told you to
shocked.
sit down first.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. And lo and behold, if it doesn't have this great history behind it. So this year will mark the 124th consecutive Christmas bird count. The first one happened in 1900. I mean, this thing has just got, history geek all over it, right?
And it's all over the world.
It is, yes. So what happened was at the end of the 18th century, there was something they did on Christmas Day called the side hunt.
Look at them birds.
Okay, this is a picture
They use
of
dynamite.
yeah, right. So turns out in the late 1800s, a tradition, I guess you could call it,
Yeah.
people would go out on Christmas Day
Mhm.
in groups,
Centered around the side hunt.
yeah, and see how many birds and or small animals they could kill in this set period of time. The first article I found about this said a side hunt would land you in a federal courtroom.
Yes, in today's world.
Yeah, today's world,
Yes,
which
it-
I thought was hilarious. But one reason was because conservation of animals in the late 1800s was
It was
not
a thing.
a
Wasn't
thing.
even thought of.
Yeah, even though there are some people who were kind of aware of
The danger it posed.
right, and because in those days, late 1800s, kind of a Victorian style fashion trend were these hats with these gigantic bird feathers on them. I mean, look at
She's
this
even
one.
got the beak.
This one has the whole head on it.
She's having to look down because it's so heavy.
Yes,
Weighing
and
her down.
there were species like the passenger pigeon, which I've never even heard of before. I don't know if it actually went extinct or not. And the Carolina parakeet that were, oh yes, they were either extinct or near extinction because
Of
of
this event.
this fashion trend and this event. People were just slaughtering all of these birds. Anyway, in today's world, it seems just
It seems
bizarre. Now, of course,
barbaric almost.
this is a picture. This has to be into the 1900s, but this is an example because of the car. This is an example of what a Christmas side hunt
There's just two men there.
booty,
Yeah.
I guess you could say bounty, yeah, would be like. So these it was for the fashion, it was for the thrill
Right.
of the hunt, it was for who's gonna
Competition
say
type
they
thing.
they got the most. And so, then a man whose last name is Audubon began, raising awareness about the, situation concerning some of these
Mhm.
bird species.
Mhm.
And, there was a concerned naturalist named Frank Chapman. This is a picture of him
Oh,
kind of in
Frank.
his later years. Yeah.
Bird watching.
Bird watching. He had like 5 different careers in his lifetime. I mean, he was a banker and all of these things, but bird watching and
Went through all those.
becoming a naturalist,
Mhm.
really, in fact, he was considered an ornithologist, a person who, studies birds. Anyway, in 1900, he offered an alternative to see how many species and how many individual birds a team could count,
But not kill.
but not kill
Mhm. On Christmas
on
Day.
Christmas Day, hence the Christmas bird count. He called it the Christmas bird census. That's what it started out. And the very first one,
Mhm.
there were 27 dedicated birders, including Mr. Chapman, and 25 Christmas bird counts held on Christmas Day, 1900.
Mhm.
The locations range from Toronto, Ontario to Pacific Grove, California, and most counts enter near the population centers of northeastern North America. Those original 27 bird counters tallied around 90 species on all
Mhm.
counts combined.
Mhm.
And it became a major project of the fast-growing National Audubon Society. So Mr. Chapman and Mr. Audubon
Kind of combined
merged,
forces.
yeah,
Yes.
merged. And so the idea gained the backing of this society that was really gaining popularity. And so the Christmas bird count was born. Now, you can imagine having over 100 years of tracking data
Right.
on birds.
Right. In the same areas, especially.
Right, yes, designated areas.
Mhm.
The changes over the years, the
Mhm.
fluctuations of, I'm just fascinated by this thing, and I literally have never heard of it. If any of you have ever heard of it or participated, I would love to talk to you because
She's gonna bend your ear.
yeah, I just think it's so cool. So here's how it works. To standardize,
Mhm.
because there had to be,
Like
things that
process.
Yes, a process, exactly. The counts take place in a 15-mile circle. So there's a point and you go 15 miles
In the radius around.
out, around from it. And that is where a bird count happens anytime between December 14th and January 5th of every year. So it's not just
that one day.
Yeah, Christmas Day anymore. Which probably allows for a more thorough and more people.
Especially species, not necessarily counting birds, but
Yeah.
species especially.
Yeah, and for people to be able to participate.
Yes.
Christmas Day is kind of it's hard to get away kind of thing anymore. So if you participated at any point, even today, you have to be within one of these circles.
Right. And there's certain steps you have to take to be in one of the circles.
Yes, and volunteers brave all kinds of weather because just because it's in Oklahoma, it's fairly temperate most of the time.
Compared to
December,
speaking,
yeah,
right.
but I mean, if you think up north or
no.
Canada or wherever,
Braving those blizzards and
these bird counts are happening literally around the world now. So let me see what this next. Oh, I brought some great pictures from some past Christmas bird counts. These women, they've got their binoculars and they're spotting birds.
She wearing a feather in her hat?
Well, this is actually a
Is that the
full-on bird.
That was the bird, yes.
Now that's a bird on her hat. I don't know how.
She's trying to call them in.
Right? This is like putting one of those fake turkeys out to get the turkey. I don't know. Wish she was around to ask. Look,
Ooh, look at her.
these people, they see their birds everywhere. They're surrounded.
You can't even keep up with them all.
Uh-huh. I feel like that was a staged picture.
I'm saying, I think they should have all said the same direction. because
Yeah.
I know
Look at
they-
those sensible shoes those women are wearing.
Whatever
Everyone has on,
else would you wear?
they all have on sensible shoes, right? They're wearing dresses, so this looks very 1960s to me.
Yes, yes.
And then this is actually the Tulsa Audubon Society.
He looks like he's about to
Participating.
fly.
Yeah, participating
He's living
in
in
a
Forest.
Christmas bird count. I just love all this, that this is has such a rich history attached to it.
Well, she
Yeah.
kind of looks like she might be out to assassinate.
Yeah, well, she does kind of a beret on.
Yeah.
or- I don't know, that's kind of a,
Like I'm just here. hiding
Yeah.
out.
yeah. Okay, so the Christmas bird count, twenty
Look at all of
twenty-three
those.
map of the US, yes. So the red spots, this is all the 15-mile, every one of these is a little circle, and it's the 15-mile
Radius.
radius out. And so this is just the US into Mexico a little bit.
What are the yellow and green?
Yellow and, okay, the red ones mean it's already full.
Oh, you can't
They
go
only-
into that circle.
They only
Okay,
take a certain
I get
number
it.
of participants.
I get it.
The yellow and green are still open.
Probably goes on a level like green might be close to getting full or something.
They didn't indicate that.
Kinda
They
like
just
a
said the green and
threat
yellow mean that you can still,
Apply to be in that.
yeah, so, like I said, this is just one area of North America. This is just North America. It's not even the whole picture. But every single, count is available online now. And,
Before then, it was always either digitized or publicized.
yeah,
right?
they wrote them down and
Mhm.
at some point,
Published them in some sort.
right, the 113th, which would have been 2012, from that time forward, it's exclusively online. It's not available in a hard copy anywhere. There are thousands of bird circles in all 50 states, 20 foreign countries, with tens of thousands of participants. And in the 2021-22 year, almost 43 million birds were tallied.
Wouldn't you be upset if he had to start over at what one? Like if he,
Right.
I mean, he's over there taking tally.
Yeah,
scraps.
exactly. So anyway, these this is all done through the National Audubon
Mhm.
Society now. And that society protects birds and the places they need today and tomorrow throughout the Americas using science, advocacy, education, and on-the-ground conservation, which I would call the Christmas bird count on the ground
Yes,
conservation.
yes, for sure.
So this is the full-on map. Now, this is gonna be fun. Here's Oklahoma. So these are all the Christmas bird counts that are in and around Oklahoma. You can see
Mhm.
Wichita Falls, full.
And that's for this year's, yes.
Mhm, this is for 2023. All of these others are still available. You'll notice. Here's one, Wichita Mountains. This is somewhere in Stevens County. This is the Chickasaw National Recreation Center. Which I thought were probably the three closest to where we live.
Mhm.
Two happening in Oklahoma City. There's two up in Tulsa. There's an Oklahoma City Audubon Society,
Like the rest of
Tulsa.
Tulsa's.
There's a Payne County Audubon Society. There are multiple Audubon societies in Oklahoma,
Mhm.
which I think is pretty cool. I didn't really research Texas, but I thought it was kind of awesome that there is a red one, so we
Right,
can,
close here.
yeah, so you can kind of see that some of these are people just,
Right around here.
yeah, they're already into finding out. So the steps that you would have to take. So there are details online. Go to the National Audubon Society and look up Christmas bird count, and it takes you right to all of this information. So there's a lot of details, like you have to register and you have to contact the person who puts this together.
Mhm.
The compiler is the person who
I know.
they say, hey, Audubon Society, here is one, we're gonna register this event happening on this day.
Mm.
And so then there might be a different contact person, but there are people who organize these things and register them, because the Audubon Society, has to keep track and make sure we don't have any overlap. They don't have
Right.
any
Overlap there in
overlaps.
those circles.
Yeah, things like that. Check out the map near you, and on that bigger map, I mean, you just like and zoom in,
Yeah.
you can zoom right into it. And that's how I got to
This area.
Oklahoma. Find green and yellow circles are open for new participants. Red circles are full. Maybe that means like new participants, like people who haven't ever done
Done
it
one?
before.
Maybe green ones because they're
Never,
green.
maybe so. To
Green or
arrange
yellow?
participation, you contact the compilers by email in advance of count day by using the information from the pop-up circles on the map. So you put your cursor over one of those, and
Gives
a
you that
box
information.
pops up and it gives you contact information about these particular circles, yeah. And then you can sign up for American Birds, so you hear about the results. There's a live tracker that you can follow.
Mhm.
Now, I thought this was good question. Can I just do my own Christmas bird count and send you my data? Good
No.
question, fair, right?
Right.
So since it is a real census, it has to have these processes.
Mhm.
And so you have to only count. Now, let's say you lived in this area in Stevens County. You could just sit in your backyard
And register.
and register
Right.
whatever you see.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you have to travel to
You want to
that
make sure you're in
location.
the location that's been
Mhm.
designated and that's circled.
Yeah. And so just having random counts.
I mean, it could have
Being
been
thrown
overlapped,
in.
it could have been.
Yeah,
other
yeah.
things.
And you have to join a circle by contacting the compiler in advance of the count day. They need to know that you're going to be there. There is an alternative, which I thought was interesting. It's called the Great Backyard Bird Count. It's organized by Audubon, the Cornell Lab of Ornithology, and Birds Canada. It takes place on President's Day weekend each February, and you can count the birds each day in your backyard or community and then enter the results online.
Oh, so there is an option for you to do them in your
Mhm.
backyard.
Yeah, it's a little more random. It's not the Christmas bird count. It's not
Right.
the bird census, but it
You can't
is
say you're with the CBC.
right.
You are
Yeah,
gonna be with the GBBC.
the CBC police might,
Yeah.
you might get a little trouble for that. I don't know, but so I zoomed in a little closer here. So the Wichita Mountain Wildlife right here, that particular 15-mile area, its abbreviation is OKWM, Oklahoma Wichita Mountains. There is a compiler and his email. The date that it's going to happen is not on this information.
Mhm.
But it says, if interested, please contact well ahead of time to check on available spots. Well, it starts December 14th.
Mhm.
So I would say you probably need to reach out, and find out what date it is and see if that's a good date for
Right.
you.
Right.
This one, Stevens County, that's all it is. OKSC, Oklahoma Stevens County, has a compiler. Their email is on here as well, but for information, you contact someone else.
Mhm.
But all of that information, like I said, you just put your cursor on that, click on it, and this box pops up
Right.
that
Gives you all that information.
wow, I hope you guys can see that. Sure is washed out. Wonder if you can, I'm gonna try to make
Yeah,
that a little, I'm gonna see if I can.
We're like,
make this
oh
a
wait,
little-
you can't see nothing, can you?
Right,
You have to like do that now that way.
No,
Here,
I'm
I'm
not
coming.
doing it
I'm
right.
coming.
Okay, hold on. Switch. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. There, okay. Well, now I'm dark.
Yeah,
but-
you're really dark, but I'll wait here until you're done.
Yeah, okay, so you put your cursor over the colored part of the circle and just click it. And then this information will pop up. This last one over here is the Chickasaw National Recreation Area. And again, there's a name, a contact person. This one has tons of information though. It's happening December 30th. You meet at 8 a.m. at the Travertine Nature Center. And the field time will be in the morning and afternoon hours. And accordingly with the weather conditions, and you can call the recreation center, the nature center, for more information. So that's over in Sulphur. That's going to be over at Sulphur. I love it that they actually, on these boxes that pop up, they actually put the longitude and latitude for the location of where it is. So this is seriously how easy it is. I'm going to go back. So you have this map with all the color, with all the circles. You zoom in. Here's Oklahoma. I bet you guys couldn't even see that a while ago.
I can't even see it. It's fuzzy.
Oh, there, that looks better. Is that better?
I don't know.
Maybe a little bit lighter. Put a little bit lighter on it.
Which wrong way? There?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can see multiple locations, and the red one at Wichita Falls that we were talking about earlier. Here's Wichita Mountains, Stevens County, Chickasaw, National Recreation Area, other places around Oklahoma. Maybe you're going to be traveling or have relatives or friends who live somewhere near some of these, and it seems like a fun thing to go do. You can hover, put your cursor on any of these and find out information about it. And then here are the 3 for this. So anyway, there you have it, guys. Our
Welcome
Christmas
back.
bird count. I hope that this was as cool and interesting for you as it was for me. There's tons of historical information out there. I mean, if you really wanted to get geeky and like dig into the actual bird counts, you know,
Like the actual tallies. And
yeah,
results.
yeah, like you could probably track by species or something.
Mhm,
And
or
see,
area
yeah,
or something.
and
what's
see
the
like
area.
what's been in Oklahoma, what's no longer here. I don't know. It just seems very interesting. And plus probably some great places to go do some bird watching if you're into that,
Mhm.
or like me, you would
You want
like
to
to get into
find a
that.
certain kind of bird.
Yeah, so it looks like I need to buy some sensible shoes, some good binoculars,
And maybe
and
a hat with a bird on.
maybe a hat with a bird on. I did.
We
you
can
know
only
what I
fashion you
saw?
one. I'll just hot glue a bird on there for you.
I tell you what I did see, and I'll be honest with you, this was a little bit of my inspiration too. We got a Sharper Image catalog the other
Mhm.
day. And there was a pair of binoculars that had like a screen on it, and you could take pictures. Like you could you
like
could,
a digital photo.
yes, like a digital photo.
Mhm.
It was like binocular camera. Oh, it was pretty cool.
With ultra zoom.
And they were bird watching with it.
Oh,
So
yeah. Thanks,
that
Sharper
was-
Image.
that was a little bit of my inspiration too.
That's what brought us all
It
here
really
today.
did. Yeah, I was like, dang, I would like to have that. And then I thought, because I never got to go bird watching,
As times I go bird
think
watching
I
every
might
week.
need that. Anyway, so there are all kinds of really fun things that you
Mhm.
could
Get
get,
into
and
that.
you could go super easy and just drive out to Clear Creek
Right.
or
just
one
do
of the
a
lakes.
Casual.
I mean, Duncan has tons of lakes within just
Well,
a,
Oklahoma.
yeah. And it would just be fun to go sit and watch birds and see what all you see.
Mhm.
Or you could participate in something
Like
that
this.
has such a rich history as the Christmas bird count.
That's
So anyway, I hope that maybe someone learned something and maybe you got inspired today to go
There you
participate
go.
in something
Let us
that
know if you do.
you've never done before. Yes, let us know if you end up doing that, because I think it would be cool. I wish I knew more information. I just didn't reach out and contact these people.
Yeah.
But it looked like an email would be a super easy
yeah,
thing to do.
Way they
So
contact.
anyway, guys, thanks for watching
Tomorrow.
today. Tomorrow, we are going to be talking about a really big event that we're excited about around
First
here. A week from tomorrow, actually on December the 7th,
Mhm.
the Chisholm Trail Heritage Center is hosting a gala at the Simmons Center,
Mhm.
and it is going to be such
To
a
benefit
lovely
education.
evening.
Mhm.
I don't believe that you can still purchase
No,
tickets,
they're no longer for sale.
but if you know someone who purchased a table and you're very interested in coming, you could talk to somebody
Mhm.
about whether or not all of their tickets are being used. That might be a fun way
Mhm.
for you to get to come.
Mhm.
Anyway, we're going to be telling you all about the event and why we're doing it, and just I don't know, just give you a little insight on some of the things that organizations like ours, nonprofit, educationally
Mhm. You
based,
love
I
us.
mean, you know, our
Survive
goal
from.
here, yes, but our goal here
Mhm.
is to educate and perpetuate the ways of the old West, you
Mhm.
know, the Western life, the Western heritage, and you can only do that through educating people. And so that's a big part. That's why we're here. That's why you learned about the Christmas bird count today. We
You're
find
more educated now, aren't you?
we are always looking for new ways to be able to share knowledge and different ideas and things with people. So anyway, we appreciate all of your support. The fact that you watch Trail Talk is just such a blessing to us. But anyway, we're going to be telling you about this really fun night that's going to be happening next week. So be sure and tune in tomorrow also. And I guess we'll see you then.
That's it. I'm gonna jump off here after I say happy trails.
Yeah,
and
she's
go
gonna
stop
turn
this.
us off. We'll
That's
see you
right.
guys tomorrow. Happy trails. Go count some birds.